2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. Tonight, we'll be watching the Indiana Pacers playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers at Quicken Loans Arena. Checking out Cleveland. They split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. One of the guys to watch tonight, Monte Ellis. Such an explosive player at times, really dangerous when the fourth quarter rolls around, Shaq.
Yeah, Ellis, a.k.a. Baby AI, still has the speed to force defenders off of him.
It's Eastern Conference time for the traveling Indiana Pacers today. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. Cavaliers again playing host, continuing their homestand in this one. A great start to the season for them, notching. Three wins to tip it off.
And I think for the Cavaliers, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
And they're not a team that other teams look forward to facing. They're only going to get scarier the deeper into the season we get.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Lavoy Allen out there with Mahinmi. Then there's Hill. Then it's Paul George. And it's Ellis at the shooting guard position.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge. Always.
Well, LeBron James long considered the greatest player in the league. He's got some competition now, though. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, James Harden, all playing well last year. But for my money, there's no better player in the league than King James.
Smith, no luck. Ellis, left side. Mozgov grabs the board. And so here's Cleveland. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
A lot of firepower coming off the bench in that game really allowed them to escape with victory.
I thought the bench was the X factor for them. You can't rely on that kind of scoring coming from the reserves every game. But when it shows up, it's a nice weapon.
Now here is Hill after LeBron James's miss. Pick up by Hill. Ellis against Smith. Ellis kicks to Mahinmi. And that one's good.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Outside Williams. Love wide open. He fires. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
For Indiana, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Hill dishes to Ellis. Buries the 20-footer. Cleveland's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. From deep LeBron, and another 3 for Cleveland.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Moments ago, our Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with the coach, Frank Vogel. Doris?
Team rebounding is something he stressed to his side, and rightfully so when you face a player that gobbles up the glass like Kevin Love. He told me that Love rebounds at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate that fear, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Kept alive. Mozgov kicks to Love. For the 3. James with another miss. Indiana trailing here.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
And that one's good.
He could have forced a tough inside shot, but made a terrific kick out to find the open jumper instead.
Smith for three. The Pacers pull it in. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And what got them that win was the remarkable success they had from the floor. I mean, just a tremendous shooting performance all the way around.
Hey, you can't expect that kind of shooting to happen all the time on a nightly basis. But when it does, boy, does it feel good and look good.
As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Really good example there of some fine interior passing before that basket.
And so it's Indiana with it. They trail by 1. LeBron against George. 1:49 left in the first quarter. Excellent D there from Mozgov.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Got that one up quick.
J.R. Smith, boy, he's mercurial, but he is something to behold when he's knocking down shots like that.
Well, we know the Mozgov started last season with the Nuggets and then was traded to Cleveland midway through the season.
And what an impact he made on the Cleveland Cavaliers, particularly at the defensive end. His size and his activity really helped the Cavs become outstanding at the defensive end.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Mozgov. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Shumpert is checked in for Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Williams. It's tipped. Shumpert passes to LeBron. Frye dishes to Thompson. Dellavedova kicks to Frye. Paul George with the steal. Hill drives in. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And credit to the Cavs for going out and getting Mozgov. I mean, they paid a hefty price giving up the 2 first-rounders. But thus far, he's proved to be worth it. And the Mozgov trade, guys, for the Cavs, I think can be viewed as their big turning point in the season. He completely changed the defense of their team. He was that missing piece of the puzzle. Yeah, guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the lead with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D. There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And James gets it to go. 23 seconds left in the first. George against Thompson. Outside, George. Wide open look. No good off the front iron.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Cavaliers lead by 4. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Quicken Loans Arena. And LeBron James trying to will his Cavaliers team to its first title. Teammate Kevin Love says LeBron made it clear from the start what he expected.
He sat us down maybe right before the first practice and kind of spoke about what he thought everyone should bring to the table. And, we had to hold up our end of the bargain.
When someone like LeBron talks about what you need to bring to the table, you better bring it.
Yeah, I would think so. You'd be better served to go right along with what he's talking about. Dubbed the new Big Three along with Kyrie. I think if they just keep following LeBron's lead and advice, the sky's the limit.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Cavaliers.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for Indiana, they've got Turner, LeBoy Allen out there with Solomon Hill. Then there's Ellis, and it's Miles in at the 2. Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they're bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being, as we saw.
Well, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
Here's Shumpert after the made shot from Monte Ellis. Shumpert passes to Smith. And Shumpert kicks to Thompson. And again, it's Cleveland.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb.
And so here is Indiana. Tristan Thompson picking up that last bucket. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
And those mid-season trades for the Cavs really turned things around. Mozgov came in, J.R. Smith and Shumpert secured that 2 spot. Gave this team an incredible edge defensively.
A different look now for Cleveland. Mozgov comes in for Tristan Thompson. And it's Williams in for Matthew Dellavedova. Mahinmi's checked in for the Pacers. That pushes it to double digits. 7 points for Smith.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
Now here's Ellis, coming off a solid outing against Miami.
Yeah, and they built the roster to how they played best mid-season. I mean, it was a great job, I think, by the front office to get the players that fit best into the locker room and into the team style of play.
Some nice passing here by Indiana. Got a piece of it, but he stays with it. To the inside, Mahinmi, good, and the assist goes to Ellis. Mahinmi's got 8.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And Love gets it to go.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Down low. Good on that shot, and with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Allen. Smith dishes to Mozgov. Smith the pass to Love. On the wing, Williams. He's guarded by Hill. Pulls it from 20. And Cleveland again with the bucket. And the Pacers call time here. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season.
Yeah, and these teams pretty familiar with one another. They'll face off 4 times this year.
And Greg, both would love to get the upper hand early. This game to me is psychological as much as anything. I mean, a win here provides that edge you're looking for.
James checked in for Cleveland.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was a big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
And here is Hill. after the three-pointer from Amon Shumpert. Ellis kicks to Allen, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And Cleveland making a change here. Price checked in, and the Pacers also making a change. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Monte Ellis.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never throw it down like that. But I will say, it sure looks fun, doesn't it?
Now, here is George. He had 19 points in the win against Miami. Stuckey can't get it to go.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Mozgov with the block. Shumpert against Hill. Kicks it to James. Takes the three. It's hauled in by George.
3 triples in the first quarter, but he's yet to knock one down here in the second.
Feeds it to Allen. And Shumpert pulls it down. Shumpert's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Williams dishes to Shumpert. And the pass to Fry. Inside. LeBron can't get it to go.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Pass to George. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
A really strong second quarter in terms of scoring the basketball.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Matthew Dellavedova comes in for Williams. And Indiana with a change here, too. Turner's checked in. LeBron, no good.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Shot's good by Turner.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense. Dellavedova is really good at finding his teammates.
19 seconds left here in the second.
And they can guarantee this is the last possession of the quarter if they hold it.
And I'm guessing that's exactly what they're probably going to do here.
Outside, George. He dishes it to Hill. From deep. And the first half is now in the books. Cleveland ahead, leading by 9. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, Kevin, I'm here with LeBron, and you obviously have been very productive. How pleased are you with where you're getting the basketball and how you're scoring?
I'm very pleased with my individual performance right now, but not so pleased with how I'm trying to help our teammates. I got to do a better job of trying to get our teammates in the flow as well as keep myself in a good group too. So hopefully I can do a better job of that in the second half.
LeBron, thank you. Kevin, he can't do it by himself.
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. The largest lead for them during the period was 4. They showed their superiority in the second quarter and got well out in front, taking a 9-point lead into the locker room at the half. What'd you think, Shaq, about Cleveland?
The field goal percentage was off the Chisnarts, Ernie. Let me rewind it. The field goal percentage was off the charts, Ernie. It was well planned, well executed. They took very few bad shots, and that needs to be the focus from here on out. More smart basketball, don't try to do too much, and open the door for a comeback.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Pacers.
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half. But that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
The second half just about to get going here.
LeBron just giving him fits. He's got 14 points, and he's drained 3 3-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this.
LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Smith is out there with Mo Williams, and it's Mozgov in at the center. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And that one's good, George. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
And, Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
That's good. 16 points for LeBron.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Ellis, the pass to Mahinmi. Outside Hill. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Love grabs the board.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead. And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Ellis against Smith. Ellis kicks to George. George missing again.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for James. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. C.J. Miles comes in for Hill.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Pacers trail by 11. Here's Hill. Rebound by Smith. Here's Allen, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. J.R. Smith picks one up. Indiana shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
Talk about a terrific game for Allen. He's got 8 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for him.
Thompson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
And George, here we go, took the opportunity when he saw it. George has got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
You know, the Cavs had a slow start to last season compared to how everybody thought they would play. Still, it was the best start for Kevin Love in his career and would end up being the most winning team he's played on. Says something about how long he's waited for success.
And here is Ellis. Maurice Williams letting it go from 3. But they'll get another chance. Allen dishes to Hill. In the corner, Miles with it. It's back to Hill. Tries again. Rebound by Smith.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And it's good. 9 points for Williams.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Smith. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got his 5th rebound in this one. And George, here we go. And Thompson sends it back. From deep. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Hill inside. And he uses the glass on the layup. Hill's got his first 2 points.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Dellavedova, the pass to Love. And it's good, assisting on the play with Dellavedova. And it's 9 points for Kevin Love.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
A different look now for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Smith. And it's Shumpert in there for Williams. Indiana also making some changes. Turner's checked in for Lavoy Allen. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Solomon Hill.
You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh yeah shots.
Out to Thompson. It's deflected. Stolen by Miles. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. And here's George for 3. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those 3-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
Shot's good.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Paul George with the steal. And the lead is down inside single digits. George has got 12 now in this quarter.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
From deep, Miles. The shot is off.
Not good shot selection. Long range and a defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Here's George. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Turner is out there with Mahinmi. And it's George in at small forward. Now Mozgov. George Hill missing on the 3. Passes to Thompson. Cleveland moving it around. And here's James outside. Pacers with the rebound.
And still looking for his first triple of the second half. He had 3 at halftime.
Stuckey drives inside. And the shot is good. Stuckey's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pacers.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And it's George finishing it off.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch. You know, one of the more impressive things that we know about LeBron James is that he is one of the great leaders in the NBA. His voice carries a lot of weight, and he hasn't been shy about raising his voice on social issues either. Good to see.
Smith checked in for Cleveland. Williams comes in for Matthew Dellavedova. Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. Good on that shot, and with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Paul George. And speaking of LeBron's leadership, trying to will this Cavs team to a title, one of his greatest challenges.
And Kevin, the expectations are just so high. He may have had less talent around him in his first stint in Cleveland, but after winning titles in Miami, anything less seems like a step backwards. And now one spot the Cavs did struggle with last year was help off the bench. They were last in the league in bench scoring.
Hill, no good. Cleveland leading by 4 from about 19 feet. Bullseye. And that's now 18 points for J.R. Smith.
And they've looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Boy, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Cavs not scoring with a lot of their bench. A big part of that is they just didn't go to their bench very often.
Well, you talk about the Cavs and the bench near the bottom in total bench minutes played. The bench didn't have a lot of firepower, didn't shoot the ball well, and considering they got limited minutes, oftentimes struggled to find any kind of rhythm out there.
Here's James. The Pacers making the shot. James with another miss.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And it's time for an injury report.
Kevin, I spoke with head athletic trainer for the Pacers. He told me he's suffering from back spasms, so they put some ice on it and gave him some painkillers. A discouraging development for this team so early in the season. We'll see what kind of impact it has on them in the long term.
Rising up and hammering it home. That could be just what they need to pick their energy up.
Wow, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet. I'll say that for man, oh man, was that
And no doubt about it, guys. That's one of those plays that will pick up his teammates. A lot of times a play like that is just what you need to get the adrenaline flow for your team.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thank you, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
And the Pacers call time here. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He's dialed in from long range. They got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
The Pacers making a change here. Ellis is checked in. James against George. Now the dish to Hill. They double him with LeBron. Nobody near George. They get it again. Allen. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Frank Vogel gave to his team during that last break. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Paul George. Coach asked him directly to take the reins of their offense. He wants him to have a huge impact at that end of the floor for the rest of this game. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Timeout called the Pacers. Kevin Love's checked in for Thompson. George against James. And with that shot, the Cleveland lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from George.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
From deep, LeBron, and out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. And the Pacers call time here. They're behind by 3. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Ellis kicks to George. Can't get it to go. So Cleveland will take it the other way. The drive by Ellis. He feeds it to Mahinmi. Here's Allen. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Free throw good, James.
What a clutch performer. He loves being in these situations, just relishes the opportunity. A lot of guys say they do, but you can see it in his face. He truly does.
Shot on the wing, and there's another one for the Cavaliers.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Outside, George. Cavaliers with the rebound.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Love. And that's now 33 points for LeBron. Now the Pacers with it. 9-point game. Here's Allen. And the rejection by Love. Allen, a screen on James. And stolen by Love. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. Hill pulls it in.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Shots good by Ellis. Here's Smith. And an intentional foul right there. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
2 shots.
That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Indiana calls timeout.
Timeout called the Pacers. They're losing by 7. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, they can call all the timeouts they want, but really, I don't think it matters at this point.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home just like the players are. There's nothing they can do to salvage this one right now. Let's go. Get out of here. Game done.
He summed it up.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't think we need to comment after that.
Adios. And so it's Cleveland winning this one. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, and it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the stretch, Kevin. This crowd is not going to let this one slip away.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
LeBron, no player has to endure the kind of scrutiny and pressure that you do on a nightly basis. How do you stand and deliver the kind of performance you did tonight?
I just wanted to try to lead my team the best way I could. Whatever I needed to do out on the floor, I tried to be there for them tonight. And, I'm glad we was able to get this win.
Thank you, LeBron. Kevin, this guy is extraordinary.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. Now we'll send it up to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who is standing by for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
Just an unreal performance for him in so many ways. That was a player at the absolute top of his game. It's hard to imagine someone being any more dominant than he was tonight.
We all know, anytime you got LeBron James on the floor, he's going to bring that will to win. He has so many tools in his arsenal he can throw at you, not to mention his defense. Literally, any night he can take over a game. Tonight we saw King James exert his will in the game.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.